Get it. Let's go. Welcome into the New Level Podcast, the number one podcast for men and women who want confidence with their body. In today's episode number 146, we're going to be discussing solutions to your calorie intake and meal prepping. All right. If you don't know who I am, by the way, I am Coach Jay Askew on Facebook, owner of Askew Fitness. And 7 years ago in high school, I was that guy who looked too small to be in high school. All right. I was 110 pounds with no confidence at all. And zooming past 7 years later, I am now 180 pounds with more confidence than I can ever imagine. All right. But big shout out to you all who listen, who give me the time to help you, give you all value. Shout out to YouTube. We're on our road to 700 subs. Shout out to Anchor, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. We're on our way to 1,400 listens this month. All right. Which is crazy because we just started the podcast like a year ago. Right. But anyways, let's talk about the solutions to your calorie intake and meal prepping. The reason why I'm making this episode is because in my private Facebook community, I got a question that was related to how much protein, how to meal prep, and how to just find out the right foods to help you meet your calorie goals, to help you get your confidence in your body you want, to help you lose weight or gain it, or just maintain a healthy lifestyle. And so with this being said, I literally made up this podcast in the last 10 minutes, wrote down a plan to give you all because I like to show you all examples through my life story. So this is how I started my fitness journey. For the first 3 years, I've never been on a strict meal plan. I've never had a fitness coach. I never had a trainer. I never had any type of guidance. I experimented, and this is something I want to share with you all so you can find it out the easy way. And not only that, but have freedom with your diet. If you're the type of person who thinks they have to stay on a strict meal plan, who has been on a strict meal plan, who has restricted themselves from foods they love and you've fallen off, or you just don't like it because who likes being told no, right? This is for you. Because what I'm about to let you all know on right now is the solution on how to free your diet and be able to have a confidence in your body like you want. All right. So real quick on Facebook and YouTube, I'm going to share my screen, Instagram. You know, my heart goes out to you all. You all are not going to be able to see my screen, but everybody else is. All right. And so I'm going to be writing out the steps so you can get a visual. And I'm also going to show you the exact website I use completely free to find out how many calories I need, how to stick to it, how to track it, and what is right for my body. All right. We're going to do this in literally 5 minutes. Let's go. So when it comes down to making sure your solutions to your calorie intake are correct, the first step is you need to accept the fact that you're going to have to track. Okay, you need to accept the fact that you're going to have to track. All right, tracking is so important. I don't know why it came up like that, but tracking is so important, guys. Okay, most people that I talk to don't track their foods. When I talk to new students, they're like, "No, I never track my foods," or "I used to track my foods." You know, and the downside behind this about not tracking your foods is you will never have the freedom with your diet. You will always have to look at a sheet, a PDF, a book, and you will have to look and be like, what do I want? It's like going to the same restaurant every single day. Nobody wants to eat the same food every single day. I went from 110 pounds to 180 pounds without following a strict meal plan. I teach my students how to lose 9 pounds in 1 month, how to fit back into the dress, how to lose your love handles, how to gain 12 pounds of muscle without following something strict. If they want something strict, that's fine. But I let them know that all they have to do is track, and I teach them how to track. All right. Now, being so this is a live, I want to let you all know that my students do use a private tool. They are inside my app, the Ask You Fitness app, and they have access to track inside the app where I monitor what they track. All right. But in this method, I'm going to give you all the tools on how to track by yourself. All right. So number one, you're going to have to track. All right. Number two, I want you all to make sure that you search this website right here. Calculator. Almost spelled that wrong. Calculator.net. Look, we're all on our phones right now. We're all on our phones, except for me. I got like 3 or 4 or 5 different devices pointing at me right now. All right. 5, 6 years ago, I'd be nervous as hell being in front of y'all. No lie. Till I got confidence with my body. until I learned these tools to help me reach my fitness goals, help me keep my fat down while I'm gaining weight. And these are the same tools, again, that I send my students. Every testimony that you all see, every before and after picture you all see. All right, they do these exact same steps before they get into the program. Now, with this being said, search calculator.net. After you search calculator.net, you're going to see a search bar on that website. Completely free. Easy. It'll take you 5 minutes to find this information out. You want to type in the word macro. By the way, if you're watching on Facebook and YouTube, I appreciate every single one of you all. And you all are going to see a visual representation of me going through these steps so you know what it looks like. Okay, I'm going to run you all through that process. After you type in macro on calculator.net, the last step is to type in your info. All right, type in your info. Why is it important to type in your info? I want to give you all clarity on this. Just because the diet worked for somebody else doesn't mean it's going to work for you. Just because a diet helps somebody else lose their weight in their waist, lose their fat, doesn't mean it's going to work for you. And you know why? It's because of genetics. Genetics do matter. Let's be honest. You need to find out what works for you. This is going to give you the exact steps that are going to work for you. The same tools I use to go from 110 pounds to 180 are these exact steps. These exact steps. All right. I know I said number 4 was last but not least, but number 5, I'm going to save for the end of the podcast because it's a very powerful tool that you can use every single day, literally for free. And it's on your phone everywhere you go. You don't have to worry about anything besides just typing. All right. I'm going to give you all access, information to an app that I recommend that you can track your foods free starting today. All right. So real quick, as promised, I'm going to give you all a visual representation. Step number 1 is to track. All right. Step number 2 is to go to calculator.net. All right. Calculator.net. I've already typed that in on my browser. You all can see right now, calculator.net is in. And this is the search bar that I was talking about, right on the right side of the screen. Now on calculator.net, the 3rd step is to type in the word macro. You might be wondering, Coach Day, what the hell is a macro? What are macros, right? Macros are your carbs, fats, and your proteins. When everybody says, oh, I got to track my calories, or I can only eat 2,000 calories, or I can only eat 1,200 calories, or to lose weight, lose fat, you need to be in a caloric deficit. Macros are what calories are made up of. Okay? Macros are what calories are made up of. I want you to think about your hand. Let's say your hand. For example, I'm showing my hand right now, but what is my hand made up of? It's made up of my palm and my 5 fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a palm. That's my hand. Macros are carbs, fats, proteins. These are calories. The whole thing is calories. My fingers are carbs, fats, and proteins. All right. And so when you say, oh, I got to track my calories, I got to be in a caloric deficit, you need to know what works for you because you can need more protein than the other person. And this is why being in a caloric deficit or tracking your calories and just looking at it in that basic way may not work for you. Because your body has been through what you've put it through, and it needs to go through what you need to put it through for you to lose weight, for you to gain muscle. All right. Once you type in macro on calculator.net, you'll see this right here. Macro calculator will pop up. Check this out. It's going to take you 2 minutes to type in this information. If you're in the US, which most people are who are on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, most of my supporters are from the US. You want to make sure the US units are tapped in. That's right here at the top. Okay. After that, you type in your age. I am 24 years old. So I'm going to type in my age. I'm male, obviously. I'm 5'11". You type in your height. Okay. You got to type in your weight. Right now, I'm 183 pounds roughly. I'm 183 pounds. Below that, you type in your activity. How active are you? I work out 5 times a week. So we're already on that setting. And my goal, let's say I want to reach 200 pounds. That's an actual true goal of mine. All right. Got to have targets in mind. If you all don't have targets on like what you want to do with your body, it's going to be that much harder. All right. Let's say I want to gain 1 pound per week. Cool. After that, I hit calculate. It's going to run through everything. And literally in a couple of seconds, it gives me a breakdown of, wow, look at that. Carbs, fats, and proteins, even down to the sugar and saturated fat. All right. I am supposed to consume, for me to go from 183 pounds, 24-year-old male, moderately active, working out 5 times a week, for me to gain a pound a day is going to take me roughly eating 3,000 calories. I need to have 195 grams of protein per day. I need to have roughly 400 carbs per day, and roughly 90 grams of fat per day. Now, this is your information. Once you have this information, the carbs, fats, and proteins, all you have to do is go to this app, right? Which is the last step. And let me share that step with you all. Go to this last step. And this step is so important, because if you do not follow this step, you will not know what you're eating. MyFitnessPal, completely free app, ran by Under Armour. I used it for 3 years. My students do use the Ask You Fitness app because they like for me to look after what they're eating. But truth of the matter is, MyFitnessPal, you can download, right? Type in MyFitnessPal and you all can see what it looks like. MyFitnessPal shows up right here. And once you download this app, you'll make your account. And now you know your carbs, fats, proteins, and calories. And everything you eat, you track it with that app. Very simple. Very simple. And that's it. Do not overcomplicate it. When it comes down to calories and meal prepping, that is all it takes. That is what I used for 3 years. That is what I used to teach my students before I had my own app made where I can watch them on what they eat. But this is what took me from 110 pounds to roughly 150 pounds with no coach. I just gave you all the sauce. Literally. All right. In 11 minutes. Okay. That is it. That is all. This is the New Level Podcast, the #1 podcast for men and women who actually want true confidence in their bodies by eating healthier. All right. If you are watching this on YouTube or Facebook and you have any questions, comments, concerns, podcast requests, leave them in the comment section down below. I see every single comment. I do it myself. You all are hearing from me, and I honestly would love to help you out. If you do want access to the Facebook community, my private Facebook community, make sure to use the link in the description down below. Tap in. Once you get access, you'll have access to seeing all the visuals that I show everybody on the lives as well. All right. This is Coach Jay signing off on the New Level Podcast. Until next time, peace. Let's get it.